Hey guys, Pickle700 here. This will be part 3 of bringing Wi-Fi out to the shed, and I believe the last one. Today's video, we're going to be talking all about terminating Keystone jacks. So now, for this to all make sense, you might want to go back and watch my part 2 video. Part 1, I was mostly just explaining what's happening and showing you everything, so you could watch that one too. But part 2 was where I went over all the conduit inside, outside, and my Cat 5e pull from the inside to the outside. And I also now, since the last video, got it down the wall inside the house where it will plug into the back of the router. So, right now I have a few Keystone jacks to terminate. So, this is all done. Terminate 2 Keystone jacks right there. And one up there. As you can see, I bonded everything. I think I showed you that in the last video as well. And I'm also going to be running in a little patch cable to the access controller to go into the network card right here, so I can program it remotely. As you can see, I have this 5-port switch right there. So, first things off, strip off the sheathing. Now we only need to strip it back about an inch. So now I'm pretty sure there's a better way to strip it than that, but I don't have the tool for it. And now because this is the outdoor or the underground raid stuff, it has all this oily paste on it. So you'll want to wipe all of that stuff off so it doesn't affect your terminations at all. So now terminating the actual jacks right here. So this little plastic piece will snap into the back like that. So you need to put that on the wire first. Let's just get that back off there. So now looking at the jack here, I'm not sure how much you can tell, but there's class A and class B. You can terminate it either class A or B. I'm gonna do A because that's the way I've been taught. It really doesn't matter as long as you do it the same on both ends. It literally does not matter. There's no difference. It just, as long as you do it the same on both ends. So, if I look at right there, if we look at A, this one will be green, white. This one will be green. This will be brown, white, brown. And then same thing on the other side. You get the idea of it. So starting with our bottom one. Shove this guy over top of it, which is actually pretty tight because this outdoor stuff is a little bit thicker, but it still fits. And then I'll spread these guys apart. So now I'm going to start terminating these. So I'm going to start with blue-white. So this, you guys probably won't be able to see much of this on camera, so I apologize for that. So now that these are all in, now I just need to punch them down. And this also cuts them off at the same time. So here this is terminated now, and as you can see, the black sheathing is very close, which is good. You want it to be as close as you can. I'm just going to double check it. Blue, white on blue, white, blue on blue. Orange on orange, orange, white on orange, white, brown on brown, brown, white on brown, white, green, white, green, white, green, green. Okay, so that's all good now. So I can close that up, and there's one jack done. Now I just have to do this a couple more times. These are both terminated now, so now I'm gonna attach them into this wall plate here. Make sure they're the same way, so it snaps in properly. There we go. So now I do have a lot of excess wire in here, because I didn't, in case I messed up and had to redo it, I wanted to have extra. That's all in, looking good. So the bottom port is going to come down to here, and then out of here it's going to go into the top port, which is going to go up to another one that I need to terminate up there next, which will go to the wireless access point. Top one is now terminated. So before I put the faceplate on here, this one's only going to have one. This one's only going to have one jack in it. So, and I didn't have a two or a one jack faceplate, so I'm just going to have to put in a filler in this one, which is very simple. It's just this that just snaps in, just like that. Color's kind of off, but that's okay. It's in up there. I've already seen this one, so this is all complete in the shed as far as some little patch cables I need. But none of this will do anything if it's not terminated in the house, so that's what I'm going to do now. In the house here, I have got this all terminated and fixed up. So the way this used to be is this used to plug into the back of the router over there, because it had pre-terminated ends on it. So I cut it off, terminated this lower jack, and then this top one is the one going out to the garage. So this is a lot better. That thing used to just stick through this like brush thing. So this is a lot better. So then I'll get like two probably 6-foot patch cables to go over there. So it's a little while later, and I have these two patch cables going to our switch right here. So this lower one, as I said earlier in the video, I believe, this is coming in from down the pipe, feeding the switch. Then this one is coming back up into this top keystone jack port, which goes up to another short little patch cable there, which is going to be going into the wireless access point. And then I have this one right here, which goes down and in, and this goes into our network card. As you can see, the network card has power, so there is a signal, or it knows that the switch is here, but obviously the switch is not plugged in the house yet, so there's no communication going back and forth. If there was communication, that LED right there would signal that. So I still have two ports left, which someday, sorry guys, I can't remember what it's called, but there is a network communicator that you can get inside some fire alarm panels, some notifiers and firelights, that can send an email and messages to your devices, such as a phone or something, to show what status the system's in. So it's not using phone lines, it's not done over phone. It is, not exactly sure what it is, I can't remember, but there is a fourth jack there if I ever need to do something with that, and then one more for something in the future, and if that ever wasn't enough, I could put in a bigger switch. So now at this point I am just waiting for my access point to come, which I ordered, and I think it's going to be here today or tomorrow, but that won't be that long for you guys. It is the next day now, and I have the access point right here. So this does take PoE, but I don't have PoE coming from that switch, so it comes with this adapter where I come out of here, go up, go into the LAN, LAN right there, if that will focus, and then the PoE is what comes out and is what runs to the access point. So now this isn't actually working yet because I have to install software and do a whole bunch of that sort of stuff. So I'm going to take note of what my speed is right now with those two boosters in the house that kind of suck, and see what it is in the same location out here. Oh right, and the most important part, the Wi-Fi access point sticker. Oh yeah, and I think I already mentioned, but the access point I went with is the Ubiquiti UAP AC Lite. They make a long range version and a pro one and a whole bunch of different ones, but I don't really need it because I've heard that you're better to have more smaller, less range ones if you had a big building, but this obviously, I don't need it. Like, when you get a longer range, your device may be able to see the network from farther away, but it actually won't be able to send data back to the access point because your phone or your mobile device is not powerful enough, so it's really kind of pointless. So I went with the light one, which is the cheapest one too. So now with the access point installed, it's now been set up. So the speed that I was getting before with the Wi-Fi boosters was at best about 70 megabytes per second, and that was at best. I had seen of as low as about 20, but now with the Wi-Fi access point I'm typically getting speeds at around 180 at minimum, and at one point for a second I saw around 600 or 700, but that was the best. Typically over around 180 to 200, somewhere in there. I'll check what it is right now. Right now I'm getting 170 megabytes per second. So somewhere around there is what I typically am seeing. Now it's 180. I did it again. If I turn off the lights in here, this Ubiquiti access point has this cool ring that goes around it. Looks kind of neat. Just this dark blue ring. As you can see right here, we have some activity going on the switch. So guys, that's about it for part 3 of getting Wi-Fi out to the shed. This is the third and final part. There won't be any more parts. So if you've enjoyed this video in this series, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.